Hi everyone. Today in this video we are going to discuss about side effects of proton pump inhibitors. Proton pump inhibitors are commonly designated as PPIs, and these drugs are having the suffix prazole, where the first two letters PR indicates they are acting on proton pump, and the last term azole indicates the benzimidazole ring system which is present in the proton pump inhibitors. So PPIs are the benzimidazole ring containing drugs which inhibits the proton pump, thereby they can control the release of gastric acid. We have so many types of drugs with similar suffix and classified as PPIs, such as omeprazole and its S isomer S-omeprazole, similarly pantoprazole, rabeprazole, lansoprazole, and even its dextroisomer dexlansoprazole. All these are the proton pump inhibitors, commonly known as PPIs, and these drugs are indicated in the various conditions such as gastric ulcers, Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, H. pylori infection. All these are related with excessive release of gastric acid. In such conditions, PPIs can be used to control gastric acid secretion. And these drugs can also be combined with chronic use of analgesics as prophylactics in order to reduce any gastric ulceration developed by NSAIDs. But these PPIs can show few of the important side effects, particularly when they are used for longer periods at high doses. These side effects are possible. So today in this video we are going to discuss the important side effects of these proton pump inhibitors. PPIs can produce various side effects affecting gastrointestinal system. They can also affect renal system. Another important action is on the bones as well as muscle. Similarly, they can affect cardiac system, respiratory system, and even central nervous system. But on few of the organs, they will show their side effects when these drugs are prescribed for chronic periods such as 2 to 3 years, and when they are used at high dose such as 40 to 80 mg. So now let us go with the discussion of important side effects produced by PPIs. The first one is a set of side effects related with the malabsorption produced by PPI. One of the important vitamin that is affected is the vitamin B12. This vitamin B12 requires the gastric acid. In the acidic environment, the vitamin B12 is going to be digested, where the protein part is going to be separated and the cobalamin is going to be released. Now this vitamin B12 can bind to the R factor, where this R factor is protecting this vitamin B12 so that it can be transported to the ileum. Now this cobalamin along with the R factor, it can reaches to the ileum, where it binds to the intrinsic factor, resulting in the absorption of vitamin B12, which is going to be stored into the liver. In this way, for absorption of vitamin B12, gastric acid is required within the stomach. But now these proton pump inhibitors can inhibit the gastric acid secretion. In presence of decreased gastric acid levels, vitamin B12 cannot be absorbed properly. So PPIs can produce a malabsorption of vitamin B12, resulting in the vitamin B12 deficiency. So PPIs can reduce the vitamin B12 absorption, resulting in the vitamin B12 deficiency, which results in various symptoms. Particularly, they can produce some numbness, fatigue in the patients. Similarly, PPIs can also reduce the absorption of calcium. So they can reduce the bone mineral density because of decreased availability of calcium. And they can also reduce the magnesium absorption, resulting in muscle weakness, tetany, and even cardiac arrhythmias because of hypomagnesia. And even they can induce the seizures because of decreased magnesium levels. And finally, PPIs can also reduce the iron absorption, thereby they can produce anemia in the patients. So levels of these minerals and vitamins should be carefully monitored when these PPIs are prescribed for very longer periods. Second one is effect on bone. Just we have discussed that PPIs can reduce the calcium absorption. So when these proton pump inhibitors are prescribed, they can reduce the serum calcium levels, which results in the decreased resorption of the calcium on the bone. So when these drugs are prescribed for longer periods such as 2 to 3 years, they can affect the bone. So they can increase the bone fractures, particularly hip fractures can be increased with these PPIs, and they can also increase the risk of osteoporosis in the patients. And not only the bone, they can also affect the muscle, and they can also increase the risk of myopathy, particularly when these drugs are prescribed with other drugs such as statins, which further increase the myopathy. So care should be taken to monitor the bone mineral density and any development of fractures in the patients when these drugs are prescribed, particularly at high dose for longer periods. Third one is the renal side effects. Normally, proton pump inhibitors can be metabolized to produce few of the metabolites. These metabolites, sometimes they can stimulate the immunity and they can increase the T cell activity. Now, when this immunity is going to be activated, what are the inflammatory mediators can affect the renal system, because these metabolites are excreted through the renal system. Now, the inflammatory mediators released from the T cell activity, they can act on the renal system, leading to some damage, resulting in acute interstitial nephritis. So, they can produce some inflammation of the nephron, which may produce renal damage, and it can also lead to some chronic kidney disease. So, in the patients already having any pre-existing renal disorders, these drugs should be carefully given because they can induce some renal inflammation as well as injury. Fourth one is the cardiovascular side effects. Just we have seen that PPIs can produce imbalance in the electrolytes. They can reduce the calcium, magnesium as well as iron levels. One of the important effect is on the magnesium. When the magnesium levels are reduced, they can produce hypomagnesemia, which can affect the cardiovascular system, resulting in cardiac arrhythmias. Similarly, PPIs can also inhibit lysosomal enzyme activity. When these lysosomal enzymes are not functioning well, they can produce some oxidative stress, and this oxidative stress results in the decreased biosynthesis of nitric oxide. When this nitric oxide is not biosynthesized, it can produce some endothelial dysfunction, which can further increase the cardiac damage. So PPIs on long-term use, they can increase the risk of stroke as well as myocardial infarction, particularly when they are used at high dose with severe hypomagnesemia in the patients. Fifth one is the gastrointestinal side effects. PPIs can reduce the gastric acid and they can produce achlorhydria. So in presence of decreased gastric acid, the patients may have few of the symptoms such as nausea and vomiting, some abdominal pain. But PPIs are reducing the gastric acid. At the same time, they can promote the release of gastrin. So the increased levels of gastrin may lead to proliferation of enterochromaffin cells. So this enterochromaffin cell proliferation is coupled with the hypergastrinemia, and this gastrin can also increase the proliferation of gastric mucosal cells. So hypergastrinemia may result in some development of gastric cancer in the patients. So care should be taken to monitor any symptoms of gastric cancer when these PPIs are particularly prescribed for several years. Other side effects of PPIs. Proton pump inhibitors can reduce the gastric acid secretion, and because of this achlorhydria, they can increase the microaspiration of gastric contents into the pulmonary system, so they can produce some pneumonia in the patients. Similarly, these drugs can also affect the central nervous system and they can produce some dementia. And by decreasing the magnesium levels, they can also increase the risk of seizures in the patients. Finally, these drugs can also affect the gut flora. Within the gut wall, protective bacteria is present, which is fighting with many of the infections. Now, proton pump inhibitors are going to inhibit this gut flora so that they can promote the growth of Clostridium difficile infection. So, by inhibition of gut flora by these proton pump inhibitors, now the Clostridium difficile can produce the infection within the colon, resulting in diarrhea in the patients. This is known as CDAD, Clostridium difficile associated diarrhea, that can be observed with the PPIs. And when these PPIs are combined with antibiotics such as penicillins, this CDAD can be further increased. So these are the possible side effects that are produced by proton pump inhibitors. Mainly they produce vitamin B12 deficiency, and they can also reduce the calcium absorption, resulting in the bone fractures and increased risk of osteoporosis and myopathy. And they can also reduce the magnesium levels, resulting in the cardiac arrhythmias, muscle weakness, seizures and tetany. And they can also reduce iron absorption, resulting in anemia in the patients. And these drugs can also increase the oxidative stress by decreasing the lysosomal enzyme activity, which can produce the damage of cardiac muscle, resulting in stroke and myocardial infarction in the patients. And they can also produce acute interstitial nephritis because of hypersensitivity action, which results in the damage of renal system. And finally, they can also produce some dementia, pneumonia, and Clostridium difficile associated diarrhea within the patients. So these are the few of the important side effects of PPIs, but most of the side effects are observed with chronic use of these drugs. So that's about the side effects of PPIs. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends, post your comments in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video.